In
the response
progress.
of Mr. Masamola. Chair, just to add on what Mr. Masamola has indicated, we've got other legislations that requires us to give parties an opportunity to be heard. That will be your PAJA, Promotion of Administrative Justice Act. So any decision that we make as the NHPRC should also follow PAJA. So we would not just act according to what the bill says without considering other legislations that requires us to follow them. Thanks.
Ms. Hoy, are you answered?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, thank you
Chair,
very much.
I'm better answered. Thank you.
Thank you. This was the last chapter, legal team.
Yes, Chair, it was the last chapter. So
okay. So on Wednesday there were some issues that you were supposed to come back on them. The issue of the TRU. I think on section 14 we have agreed that it must remain. And then so I think that was the last issue that you were going to come back on it. Or you still need time to look at it?
Chairperson, this is the Parliamentary Legal Advisor. May we request time to just get back on that one issue?
Okay.
Thank you.
And then even the NPO issue, maybe we'll start with those issues that needed more clarity as we are before we go into the second stage of the last stage of the bill. Do we members anything before we close the meeting?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Sekhoi.
Thank you. I wish you could empower us then on the process plan now. What comes next after this so that we don't lose touch of this bill until it gets to an act. Maybe you could, someone just dot a process plan from now until where we don't want to think that we know when we do not know. If perhaps you could, from your office, what next, what follows, what then, and then until to the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Sekhoi. I think the legal team from Parliament are here. They can just indicate what is going to happen after this process and finalizing those issues that still has gray areas and because as we're deliberating, we're trying even to incorporate those issues that were raised by communities. If after they've clarified the issues that I've raised, then we'll go into the last stage, which is called, is it in their language is A list or B list, something like that. and that will then go through the process of reading the bill to make sure that issues that we have raised have been incorporated, and then the last will then be compiling a report which can then be tabled to Parliament. The legal person from Parliament can add or subtract on what I've said.
Thank you, Chairperson. You are correct that the next substantial stage be the compilation of the A list by the legal team. The compilation of the A list requires substantial work. So what it would entail is the legal team to look at every single issue raised by the members of Parliament in conjunction with submissions received. And we will then try and incorporate a list that would speak to and to address the concerns raised. And we present that to the committee. The committee then will make input onto the A list in case we have missed anything, or in case there are any additions or any points of clarification, and then we'll proceed from there. So I think from the legal team side, we would need time to compile the A list so that we may present it to the committee. Thank you, Chairperson. The State Law Advisor is welcome to come in case I've missed anything or not been clear on any point. Thank you.
State Law Advisor.
Thanks, Chair. The parliamentary legal advisor is correct, Chair. Just I think I'm trying to find the right word, Chair. But
Chairperson, sorry, Honorable Tseki is knocking at the door. At least she must come in and do the closure.
Host, can you accept Mr. Tseki? Proceed, State Law Advisor.
Thanks, Chair. The normal process, Chair, is that since you've been going through this deliberation process, the understanding is that at the back of the minds of members was the process that had ensued of public consultation and submissions. So the A list that we supposed to develop, Chairperson, would be a document that comes from your discussions as you were doing the deliberations. So we've noted those issues where you requested us to formulate certain proposed amendments, Chair. So we will be guided by that process, Chair, to then formulate an amendment list, which my colleague has referred to as the A list. Then from there, Chairperson, then you would consider it at your next meeting. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much. Just to check in terms of the time, because I heard that you need time, because next week, Wednesday, we are supposed to proceed. Because the intention is when the Parliament rise, this bill should have been tabled, the report should have been tabled to Parliament so that we are able to allow the NCOP in the next financial, next year, they'll then be able to start their own processes. Parliament.
Chairperson, in all honesty, and just from past experience, the compilation of an A-list is quite an intense undertaking. And I'm not entirely sure whether we would be in a position to have a final A-list but by then. Having said that, Chairperson, may I just ask what the next date to present an A-list could be, having regard to your program, the committee's program?
In terms of the program, the committee's program, I think it's next week, Wednesday. That's why I was saying whether is it enough time.
Chairperson, in all honesty, I think next Wednesday would really be cutting it fine. Having regard to the fact that we are also doing deliberations on other bills in other committees. But I would just like to hear from the State Law Advisor and the department how they feel about Wednesday. Ordinarily, you know, we usually take a little bit more than 3 or 4 days to compile the A-list. But may I just get my colleagues' input, because it's a joint effort, and as I said, it is quite intense. So if my colleagues could please come in and just give an indication of what their thoughts and their availability is. Thank you.
Thanks, Chairperson.
Yes, Mr. Masamula.
Thanks. We thought from the department side that we were to suggest that maybe as a legal team from, legal services, Parliament Legal Services, State Law Advisor, we may actually meet on Monday and see if we can be able to conclude on dealing with the amendments that would have been raised in the meeting. That would have been our submission, and we thought maybe we may be able to close them on that day. I wouldn't know if from their side what would, as and when they insert those amendments and so on, what will entail in terms of the time that is needed. Thanks, Chairperson.
Can I suggest that as we close this meeting, can the State Law Advisor and Parliament and the department should then meet, and then through Koliswai will then advise so that members can be informed in time. Because I could imagine if you're meeting on Monday, indeed, and then Tuesday, you're finishing around maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. When are you going to distribute that to members for them to go through them? sometimes it's becoming fruitful if members they are given copies before and they go through it. So let's be guided by yourselves, but just to put our intention that our intention was to get the bill of the committee before the parliament rise, but we're still guided by yourself because you are people who are going to do the drafting, and it's involved a lot of things that we might not know as members. Can I agree that both of you the state advisor and the parliament and the department, in this case you'll be led by the parliament legal services, and then they'll then advise the committee. Is it
Thank you,
fine?
Chairperson. Thank you, Chairperson. We will try our level best, really, to try and have an A-list for you, but we will liaise via Kaliswa regarding our progress. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. In that note, can we adjourn the meeting if members there is nothing to ask?
Nothing.
Members?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Nothing, Chair.
Thank you very much. The meeting stand adjourned.
Viva, Chair, viva.
Thank you.
Thank you.